information that we found in that interview was that phone data that could have helped to identify the pipe bomber was corrupted, was unusable. He also wasn't sure who found or how the second bomb was found at the DNC. Do you know how the second bomb was found at the DNC? And when do you plan on answering our letter?
Well, as to the letter, I will work with the department to make sure we can figure out what information we can provide. As you know, this is a very active, ongoing investigation, and there are some restrictions on that. But
we can handle classified information, and we fund your department, so you need to provide that.
It's not, respectfully, it's not an issue of classification. It's an issue of commenting on ongoing criminal investigations, which is something that by long-standing department policy we are restricted in doing. And in fact, the last administration actually strengthened those policies partly.
That's not our policy, though. We fund it, so let's move on. Do you know how the second pipe bomb was? Can you tell us how the second pipe bomb was found at the DNC?
Again, I'm not going to get into that here.
900 days ago is when this happened.
Basically 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
You understand how full of shit this guy is? He keeps falling back on this. He can't comment on.
I have to say that the main reason they don't want to find the pipe bomber is because the pipe bomber on January 6th was an inside job. They had formulated a plan that if anybody wanted to question the election of 2020, they would basically blow up the pipe bomb and create either a real or fake assassination attempt of Kamala Harris at the DNC, where the two pipe bombs were found. So, and we think, well, we know that basically that was an inside job, and that's what I feel like he's kind of getting at right here. So,
you have what you're claiming is a major name. You, the FBI, you're saying it. You're telling us this was a massive Chewbacca-led insurrection that almost led to the downfall of the United States. Have you not? You arrested 700 people over it. That's how serious you told us this was. You've got a ringleader, a guy who planted a bomb on January 6th. You know who it is. You don't want to tell the nation? Think about it, folks. You knew the idea.
yeah, they knew the identity of this pipe bomber because they had his cell phone data, but now the cell phone data is not corrupted like they said it was. They lied. Under oath, that's perjury.
Have you thought about that? They have the name of the guy, and they just don't want to tell you. Why? Because it's one of them. It is definitely an inside job. 100%. They know the name. They know the name. They have the phone records of the guy on the phone. He's the only one there. It gets even worse. Right after Kamala Harris arrives, some guy
Damn, that was quick.
and finds the bomb. Finds the bomb and goes over and talks to the cops and secretaries. There's the bomb there. You would think the FBI would be pretty open to interview this person, he interviewed the pipe bomber and stuff. Listen to Christopher Ray, who again, to not answer a simple question. This guy is garbage. He is a lying fraud. He is involved and is knee-deep in one of the biggest scandals in American history involving January 6th. Listen to this.
Found the pipe bomb. Would they be a suspect?
Well, again, I don't want to speculate about specific individuals. I will tell you that we have done thousands of interviews, reviewed something like 40,000 video files, of which this is one. Assessed 500 something tips.
Have you interviewed that person?
We have conducted all logical investigative steps and interviewed all logical individuals.
Then you need, it's 900 days. You need to tell us what you found, because we're finding stuff we haven't released into the public.
I can't believe people fall for this guy's bullshit.
It's terrible.
Lefty's saying, I'm going to move on to Cassidy's saying this. Cash is asking all the right questions. Cash Patel, who's going to be, who's very likely to be the successor of the FBI. Even if you're a lefty, right, and you're really stupid, you're one of the liberals listening to this show that hasn't been vaccinated to facts and has a skull 72 inches thick. I'm just asking you a simple question. You told us, right? You told us. Folks in the chat tell me I'm wrong. Did the left not tell us this is the worst insurrection in human history? Chewbacca was going to be the viceroy of the northeastern territories. The whole country was going to fall.
What did he say?
Worse than
Chewbacca was going to be
Pearl Harbor, worse than the
viceroy?
Civil War. You told us that. We were like, yeah, that seems like just a tad bit of hyperbole there for a riot. That seems like a tad bit hyperbolic. You now have a suspect. You can put a B on the lookout for the MAGA terrorist. Put his picture everywhere. Bolo, be on the lookout for this guy. You know who he is. And strangely, they won't tell us. Liberals, I know you're dumb, but really, aren't even you with your general lack of aptitude and achievement in life, aren't you saying to yourself right now, you know what, that damn Chino's not crazy, that is kind of weird. I mean, we did tell him MAGA terrorists are going to destroy the country, and now we've got an opportunity to put out a bolo for a MAGA terrorist, and we're not doing that. So, it's so weird. It's almost like they're hiding something, right? Because they are. Not everything's an inside job.
Yep, this one definitely is.
99.5.
Which makes me think they stole the election.
This guy's asking all that more Ukraine money too.
Always assume the thing that makes the most sense and requires the least amount of what
The
ifs.
FBI and everything else. Quick break, we'll get back there. Nothing delivers comfort, joy, pleasure, quality, and taste of Omaha Steaks. It's guaranteed perfection.
Losing A.
Right now, you can save on unforgettable gifts. 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, score an extra $30 off promo code.
Ah.
5 generations of experience consistently delivering the world's best steak experience.
You can definitely tell I ain't
Easy. Perfect gift. With thoughtfully curated gift packages featuring your.
I ain't cheating.
Paul and I have been
My aim's
stocking up.
all
We
over the
typically
fucking
don't do
place.
A lot of entertaining, except this year. We just moved in the house, housewarming party, birthday party coming up tomorrow, and a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to be serving a lot of Omaha steak. From their legendary steaks to their perfectly sized desserts, save 50% off site-wide for a limited time at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $30 off with promo code.
Ah.
You know, that's 50% off at
Oh.
OMAHA.
Look at that.
omahasteaks.com. And an extra $30 off with promo code Bongino. Minimum
Damn.
purchase may apply. The last sponsor to get back to the show. And
That was terrible.
I'm just going to open your eyes here. What's the best of this holiday season? Taking decades or years off experience. There's only 2 weeks left to get the Genucel jawline treatment with dual peptide inhibitor. Genucel's most advanced thing. Jawline treatment on those tight and saggy jawlines that plump the outer layers of skin out, contour, define, sculpt the jawline and neck in minutes. People going broad spend a lot of money to get rid of.
I don't even know how I'm doing. What? Oh, 41 and 21. Hey-oh.
Someone else has the technology.
That's pretty fucking good.
Minutes. Just in time for Christmas and the holiday season, save over 70% off Genucel's complete skincare package, featuring the jawline treatment and Genucel's leading effects. They even get
Damn, they
Genucel
split it.
SV wrinkle treatment included. It's simple. Go to
They split, killing me.
Today and start looking years, even decades younger. Tomorrow, for this and a special holiday gift, every package order.
Let's go, let's move, let's move. Oh.
All orders automatically upgraded for free priority. Go to genucel.com/AD.com/check them out. This is his likely successor at the FBI. This is a no bullshit guy. I have personally vouched for. The deep state Libra accounts went crazy. They got their asses kicked again online as they all got exposed. I love it. I am sitting there. We have conquered and vanquished so many losers. I tell you, stick with me. We will always point out the losers and the zeros. I told you a bunch of deep state lib accounts were terrified of Kash Patel because they're deep state libs. They're running under anonymous names. They're liberals. They're trying to destroy Kash Patel because Kash Patel is not only going to look into the J6 stuff, the Spygate stuff, the collusion hoax stuff. Kash Patel is also going to look into what has been going on with a lot of this money we're transferring overseas. Ladies and gentlemen, some of this being used for corrupt activity. Folks, let me
Impact
be clear.
grenade.
What's happened to the Ukrainians is an absolute stain on humanity. If Russia would stop fighting, there'd be peace. Ukraine stops fighting, there's no Ukraine. However, the Ukrainian lawmakers were knee-deep in this Russia collusion. Zero doubt about that, and there's been almost no accountability. It has nothing to do with the war portion, but this does. We're sending a lot of money over there, folks. We're sending money for a war effort, Okay, whether you agree with it or
51
not,
and 30.
it's there. And if it's going to go there, it better damn well fund weapons acquisition and not fund corrupt activity. Ukraine doesn't have the best record here, and it's our responsibility to look into it.
Best on the
Here's
board.
another reason the deep state lib accounts are terrified of Cash Patel. Check this out.
I asked this Congress to investigate where has this money gone. The American people are owed that answer because it's our money. It's our taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, where has all of our money gone? Like, it's out of control how much money we've lost and just like sent into outer space, basically, like in crypto when you put in the wrong address.
Yeah. It's not like we sent $1 billion, as if that was even a small number to begin with, right? We've sent 100 times that to one country. I don't know how this Congress is allowed to get away with it.
Do you see why the deep state accounts and the lib accounts are terrified of this guy? I'm telling you, you're being played. That's why we always win. Because we know exactly who to warn you about. And then they freak out and they panic when we expose them because they continue to get their asses handed to them. They're afraid of this guy. That's why. Because there's billions of dollars at stake to going like this. Looking the other way. So what do? You go anonymously attack him
I need
online.
level 15 so I can get
Cash
some of this
Patel
stuff back.
secretly got Martian genes in him. He's got to infiltrate the White House. And idiots believe it. They're afraid of this guy.
Yep.
This guy's been openly talking about questions you've had forever. You may say to yourself,
Cash
fairly
Patel is
enough,
definitely
right?
the
You may
right
say-
choice.
What failure is that? You may say to yourself, I disagree with Ukraine.
Buy one, get 2 free survival food kits in soon. Here's what others have to say about this incredible offer.
Yo, Rumble's been putting quite a bit of ads on there.
But even if you do disagree on funding the war, even if you do, can we at least agree if we're going to send our money there, then it should at least be spent on what we say we should spend it on.
Yes.
Buy this weapon system. Not like buy off a politician. Right? Even if you disagree. This is why they hate this guy. Please, trust me. I've told you. Our batting average is 1,000. We have vanquished many a foe on exactly this. Toy with the Bajino army. You're going to always lose. There's a reason we're the #1 live stream. Because we're always on the right side.
Hey, you have a couple good games, and then all of a sudden you get put into a sweat lobby.
We don't fall for sucker stuff online. Folks, Pete Hegseth, the war on Pete Hegseth is continuing.
Oh, he's above.
Pete is
I'm
another
like, what the
victim
fuck?
of this. Maybe not in the way of Cash Patel. There's a different attack going on Cash Patel by deep staters and libs. The attack on Pete Hegseth has a lot to do with people who profit off an endless war machine. I'm not throwing out silly talk about defense industry sucks. Really, defense industry. Some of the defense industry makes some of the firearms I have in my own house. They don't suck. What does suck is when the defense industry gets an outside kind of elaborated megaphone-like voice in our foreign policy. We didn't elect the defense industry to do anything. There is a lot of money in the war machine. Pete Hegseth is going to ask about these foreign interventions we're engaged in. He's going to ask a critical question. Why are we there? Nobody wants people asking questions. They want the Mark Milley type and whatever, who are just like, yeah, okay,
Damn.
whatever, let's do it. So,
He
of
was
course,
behind
the
me?
media is trying to dismantle Pete Hegseth because they're in bed with a lot of these lobbyist senators. And ProPublica, which
Faggot.
is basically a left-wing goon site, was trying to attack Pete Hegseth with a false report. I showed the tweet that he was not accepted to West Point in 1999.
Dude, I suck.
Really?
3 and 10.
So
Holy
Pete
fuck.
says, here's my letter of acceptance signed by the West Point superintendent.
I can't even come around the
Lieutenant
corner.
General Daniel Chrisman of the U.S. Army. So, ProPublica, of course, which is going to do extra scrutiny on Pete Hegseth, unlike they would do on any left-winger out there, because they seem to focus exclusively on conservative-leaning Supreme Court justices and people like Pete Hegseth, got absolutely wrecked. Now, ProPublica is saying, hey, we were doing, I'll give you their side, because unlike ProPublica, we try to...
Ooh, that was quick.
Reporting. ProPublica is saying, hey, this is journalism. We heard that Pete Hegseth was lying about West Point. We reached out to West Point. West Point told us on the record he did not apply there. They're saying clearly we were wrong, therefore we didn't publish the story. Folks, this is about intent. You know what they were doing. And now the West Point was forced to issue a statement. A review of our records indicates Hegseth was offered admission to West Point in 1999, but did not attend. They say it was an incorrect statement from whatever their admissions department or whatever it is. Folks, I'm sorry, but I just don't. I just don't. I'm so tired of the media attack jobs on these people. They fabricated a narrative in their head, realized it turned out to be false. They were emailing around about this thing. This isn't the kind of scrutiny left-wingers get. You know, however much you hate the media,
It's not enough.
It is not enough. They will never call out.
They're literally the
left-wing
propaganda
BS. Here's a
arm
perfect
of
example.
the
I wanna
fucking
contrast these
government.
two stories. I put that first for a reason.
It's really
Here
bad.
we have a story that's making the news, and ProPublica was trying to advance before they got shut down. About a completely false.
And I feel like we all knew it.
Headset did not get
It's just
accepted to West
when
Point.
Trump came in, it
Absolutely
made
fake and
it
false,
blatantly obvious
okay?
on how
Because they're
bad
subjecting people
and
to
how
scrutiny
slanted
never
they really
subject them.
were.
Here's an example of something ProPublica. I'd be very impressed if they did this story. Here's Bill Clinton on The View yesterday. The other day.
Oh, Bill was on The View.
Bill Clinton's a guest on The View. He says something on The View, patently false, debunked by every serious journalist out there, including unserious journalists like the Washington Post. He's talking about Hillary Clinton or emails. Do you see a concerted left-wing effort right now today to attack him like they attack Hegseth? No, you don't. They're going to let the whole thing go because the left-wingers said it. Because there's two different standards. Actually, it's one standard. We're in charge and you're not. Check this out.
Do you think it would be wise of President Biden to preemptively pardon any potential targets? What about your wife, Hillary Clinton? She apparently is on Kash Patel's list. Yeah.
But they got a problem with her because first, she didn't do anything wrong.
Of course.
Second, she followed the rules exactly as they were written. Third, Trump's State Department found, they remember how the emails and such in 2016? Trump's State Department found
Spit
that
it out.
he sent and received exactly 0 classified emails on her personal device. It was a made up phony story.
Yeah.
What?
Do you see the hierarchy system where when you're the left, right, the media, and you're in charge, you don't give a shit about looking like hypocrites. You just protect your own because you're insulating the top from power so they can subjugate people beneath them.
That makes so much
Washington
sense.
Post, Glenn Kessler. I mean, you want to talk about left, even these left-wing lunatics. Clinton's claims about receiving or sending classified material on a private email system. They had to update the fact check to a new 4 Pinocchio rating from 2. That's how much bullshit he just said right there. Folks, she did receive classified information. They wiped the markings off some of the documents. Everybody knows that. But because he's a left-winger, he's protected. This is why they're so afraid of AI. Get where I'm going with this?
They're
They
scared
have
AI
a
will tell the
massive
truth about them.
multi-billion-dollar international effort going on right now.
Wow.
The left.
These
To
guys are
stop
working
people
really
like
good
Bill
together.
Clinton from getting actually fact-checked, while attacking people like Pete Hegseth for facts that don't exist. And what they do is, when something
Damn.
comes out they don't like, they just label it misinformation and disinformation as a way to censor it. This is a multi-billion-dollar business censorship. Here's Molly Hemingway on Fox describing the hundreds of millions of dollars that went into this in the Biden administration, trying to censor people. They never, ever, ever can have you see the truth because they're afraid you'll never vote
Take down that
Democrat again.
helo.
Talking about misinformation and how much money is being spent on it, the Biden administration collectively has spent $267 million to combat misinformation. Look at the
Damn.
increase in spending from 2017 when just $316,000 was spent on it. It topped out in 2022 at $75.8
They're literally
million.
spending. That's money on
The
censorship,
administration says, "Oh, we had to
not
spend this money
misinformation.
so
That's
many
their
people were saying
propaganda
things
word
were
for
wrong."
censorship.
Well, yeah, and some of that came from the
Misinformation.
Well, John, this is absolutely one of the
They've
most
lost
important
all
issues facing the
credibility.
country right
Them,
now. We have
I feel like the
federal
healthcare
agencies
field,
engaged in the suppression of speech
Big
and
Pharma.
debate.
I feel like a lot of them have
The federal
lost
government disagrees with
so
that.
much
It's in
credibility.
No way the job of the federal government to weigh in on what Americans are saying and how they talk about it. They put it under the guise of fighting misinformation or disinformation, fact checking. They claim they're doing news literacy. It is a
News
complete
literacy.
violation of the First Amendment. The amount of money going into it is amazing.
Folks, the censorship business is a staple of current liberal left-wing politics. Why would you have to censor people if you felt like the information you were putting out there was factually accurate? Why? I don't understand. Why are you censoring people on the pipe bomber? Why are you censoring people on COVID and masks? Why are you censoring people on January 6th and how many feds are in the ground? Why are you censoring people on Bill Clinton? Why are you censoring
Oh, we
people
know
on
now the
Nixon?
Inspector General
Why?
came out and said there's
They're doing it
26
because they're
federal
afraid
agents that
of
were
this.
at
This is
January
what bothers
6th.
them
So
about AI. I promised you
we know they
yesterday
lied about that
a
too.
follow-up to this segment. This is fascinating. This is fascinating.
The
This
empire
how
is
Normie
crumbling.
is. Big tech investor played a clip from yesterday.
Return
talking
of the
about how
Jedi,
if
the
you missed
saga
this
has
clip, you
started.
watched the podcast. But the gist of it was that
He ain't even in office
he
yet.
was investing in some AI companies, and the government came to him and said, "Don't put your money in there. We're going to control all the AI anyway. Don't even bother." He was like, "Wait, what do you mean you guys are going to?"
Look, these guys got another one. That's 3 helos this game. That's insane. Sometimes we don't even get 1 helo.
Control AI. Here's a follow-up to that, where he's talking about why they need to control AI. Because it's going to be the front-facing filter by which you get your information about everything.
Yeah,
The
no,
law,
not gonna happen,
cops,
buddy.
Healthcare, government, tax.
I can't wait to
policy.
get my my
You
stim
can
back. I
filter
use that so much.
information, i.e., prevent people from seeing the truth. You own the world.
They got another one?
It's a really trouble.
Oh, this is ridiculous. 4 helos in a game? Goodness gracious.
Social media censorship and political control is very dangerous, but at least it's only like people talking to each other and communicating. The thing with AI is, I think AI is going to be the control layer in the future, right? So I think AI is going to be the control layer for how the healthcare system works. I think it's going to be the control layer for how the education system works. It's going to be the control layer for how the government works, right? And so in the future, when you deal with a healthcare system or with the education system or with government, you're going to be dealing with AI. And so if that AI is, call it what you want, woke, biased, censored, politically controlled, like you are in like a hyper or
I mean, we know
China
Google's
style
AI Gemini
social
is
credit
woke
system.
because they wouldn't even make a
Absolute nightmare. And
it
this
wouldn't
goes
like
for
write a
everything
white
else.
guy or something. It wouldn't like show like a Caucasian race.
I ended
You'd
it
ask
there
for like
a
picture of a
reason.
Viking and it'd show a
That's
black
the
guy.
takeaway. I hope you
Like
can do that.
they had to take it down
They
and
need to
fix it
train the AI
before they
and no private
re-released it to the
companies
public because it was so
no
racist.
government protection. You know why? Read it to me in the chat. Come on, let's see. Because you'll be sued. If you were an AI company and you put out some information on your AI that you've knowingly trained to lie, I'll give you a quick example, an easy one. Some medical procedure. Oh, you don't need to see a doctor about this specific condition because it's politically incorrect to do so. Stay on, and then that person dies because you've trained it to lie because of some politically incorrect narrative, then you could be sued. However, just like certain pharma industries get government protections for taking risks on things, this is exactly what they want to do with AI. They want to make sure it's
Wow.
under a government umbrella.
They're gonna get
so
protection.
That they're protected against the lying and the lawsuits later. You get where I'm going with this?
That's
There's
insane.
gotta be a filter, an
Damn.
algorithm-like filter that filters out you from accessing the truth about everything from what the rich pay in taxes to what school choice actually does in the States. Because if you start looking it up and you're an impressionable voter, you'll never vote Democrat again. They can't have that. That's the problem. They need to train it to lie. And it's not easy to do without government interference, without worrying about massive liability problems and everything else. And here's another reason. If you're just a really simple market, say there's no
I
government
keep forgetting it's not a stim.
AI's going to tell you the truth. If one AI tells you the truth and another one's run by a bunch of liberals at some company called Scroogle or whatever, no one's going to use the AI that lies because people generally want accurate information.
Correct.
They're going to go to the AI from whatever, conservative AI dot whatever, and they're going to say, hey man, I thought these were both intelligent. How come this one's giving a different answer? And people are going to realize they're being lied to. Either way, it blows. You get where I'm going with this? Either way, it blows up the left-wing media symbiote that's engaged in propaganda forever. Places like Wikipedia will no longer credibly exist with a functioning AI.
Correct.
And it breaks down one of the biggest propaganda operations on the left.
The biggest propaganda operation, probably of all
I've
time.
warned you about this forever. Our batting average is 1,000. Control of AI is everything in the future. Everything.
Whew.
You will never win an election again without it. All right, I want to move on to an important story because I got to tell you, I'm torn on this one. That's why I left it for last. And listen, I need your help. Your opinions matter to me. I don't claim to have all the answers on everything, and sometimes my
I almost got
opinions,
it.
may be wrong.
Oh, I think I actually did.
So
That's
there's
just
a
my
couple of
tag.
scandals going on in the Secret Service. One of them is a pretty big deal. I'll play it next. It's from the Jesse Waters show. They put it out last night. Jesse's been doing a great job on the Secret Service issues.
I didn't even
know he's
realize
very
that guy
concerned about
was
it. I've
there.
known Jesse a long time. He wants to make sure President Trump and all the protectees stay alive. But this broke the other day as well. Susan Crabtree's an excellent reporter. You should follow her on X. She's at Susan Crabtree. Common spelling. She has a little scoop with here from the Secret Service. This is an email that went out. I assume it's from a presidential protection division agent because she said so. It looks like a supervisor. It's basically a reply all. And you can see the email below. She got it obviously from the source. There's no disputing it's accurate because the agent who sent it out, the supervisor, has since apologized for the tone of it. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but here's the gist of it. This sounds like it's what we would call a shift. So the president's detail, keep this up. The president's detail has a number of shifts. Day shift, afternoon shift, training shift, midnight shift, and then other stuff.
Oh, he hit me with a little 9mm sub.
Because you never forfeit protection. You don't have to give the president downtime. Like, he always has protection all the time. It's hard. It's a pain in the ass. I did it as a weapon TS, and I did the schedule when I was the number one grip on the shift for myself. It's a real pain in the ass. So this is why I'm torn up. I guess what happened is a lot of guys were requesting what they call RDOs. RDOs are short for regular days off. So this manager's pissed, and he says, as a reminder with respect to the schedule, there's a lot going on. So requesting RDOs next week isn't going to cut it. Between all these things, including temps, trips, and all this stuff, he says, unless it's a legit emergency, don't even request anything for the next week out. It's not just for this week, I mean going forward. And he goes into this big, long thing, and he talks about how the ADLs work way too hard. Who are the ADLs? I'll translate for you. That's assistant detail. Okay? Those are the guys, the ADLs and the whips.
Caught me, and I was still moving too.
So
He got me quick.
You're messing up this ADL's life by having to change the schedule all the time. And then he has to throw some dumbass comment in like, so wanting to have next Tuesday off so you can get your dog groomed. Like, you know. And he's basically saying, don't even bother requesting stuff. This caused a whole big shit show controversy in the Secret Service. Now, I'm kind of torn. And again, I don't pretend to know it all. Unpopular opinions, they're opinions too, but I owe you the truth because the show's always going to be authentic. When I was on the detail, and we didn't have any of these security problems, airspace was secure, nothing happened to protectees on my watch or any time I was over on the detail at all, okay? We had a pretty good group of guys who knew what they were doing. Perfect, but, we had a pretty good group of guys.
Got him.
I'm going to be honest with you. You don't need to write emails like this. I get that. The tone is definitely... No, just don't talk to people like that. However, the gist of the emails...
Why would I do that?
If you're going to go into the Secret Service and you want to do the protection detail in the Secret Service, then, folks, there's really... If you take a day off, if you're requesting a day off, the shift has... I'm just going to throw a number. It's not the real number. I promise you. Let's say the shift around the president has 15 guys on. There's 15 guys protecting President Biden right now. If someone requests an RDO or an SDO, scheduled day off, that's unplanned, someone else who had a day off has to come in. You don't work short, ever, on the detail. So, I get it, the tone is kind of like, I'm just saying, like, someone gets effed over bad. Someone who had a day off to go to his kid's birthday party now has to cancel to fill in for the other guy. So, I get why some of the agents were pissed off. You shouldn't talk to the guys like this. They're busting their asses, and I love you guys. But when I was there, this is the way it pretty much went down. I mean, if you You get a day off and you get called in. It pretty much sucks. I want to play this too.
Damn.
This happened on Jesse Waters' show last night.
I mean,
This is
sometimes I get
relatively
called
new
in, but I ain't gotta
information.
go. I get the
Apparently there was
option.
an engagement with the, remember the golf course incident with Donald Trump? They had the potential assassin right there waiting in the woods. And then there's an engagement with the Secret Service. This is some new stuff. Check this out from Commentary and News.
New
Oh.
revelations from the Trump assassin.
Alarmed by high energy bills and upcoming gas shortages, this new invention keeps you going for almost zero cost. There's this new heating technology out there, and it's cutting energy bills by 90%. It's already been sold out 5 times from Home Depot, Amazon, Walmart, all
I had
those
a
big
feeling.
box stores because it's so
Nation Task Force. According to their report, the Secret Service agent who spotted Ryan Ruth in the bushes outside Trump's golf course was only 5 feet away when he opened fire and missed him. Not once, not twice, 6 times. He missed him 6 times from 5 feet. How does a trained agent who passed the firearms test miss a target away, 5 feet away? That's not all. The report says the Secret Service found out at 2:30 in the morning that Trump would be golfing later that day, but they didn't secure the course, allowing Ruth to camp out for 12 hours before anyone saw him. Meanwhile, Ruth appeared in federal court this morning, and
Which is
legal team
crazy.
signaling they're going to go with the insanity defense. How convenient. Ruth's public defender said he has had multiple meetings with a mental health expert while in jail, and the witnesses who saw him before the arrest say he was hallucinating and delusional.
Jesse!
Prosecutors also revealed that Ruth has been doing a lot more writing behind bars than initially reported. Ruth has written nearly 40 letters to news outlets in an attempt to persuade them that he's an honorable guy. But they were intercepted before they reached their targets. We also know that only 17 of the 18 cell phones found in Ruth's possession were on him. Why does he have 18 cell phones? And wait, he has 17, so who owns the last phone? And why did Ruth have it?
Okay, there's a number of takeaways there. I want to focus on a couple.
Killed himself.
Obviously, we've got to get the marksmanship issue down. Folks, the Secret Service credo, motto about firearms when I was there, and I'm pretty sure still today, is you are responsible for every round. The core of that being, if you're going to unleash a round anywhere near the president, then you damn well better hit something, and it better not be one of the good guys. It's easy for me to Monday morning quarterback anything. I'm just saying, this is what we do. And if we've got to up the firearms requals to weekly instead of monthly, if it's got to be more tactical rather than paper shooting, fine. But we need a director in there, that's why I keep talking about this, who understands this stuff, and we need a premium on shooting. Because I'm telling you, when I was there, a lot of guys skipped their training requirements, and it happened a lot. So that may have something to do with this, may not. But second, folks, how the hell was there no pre-operation surveillance done to detect this guy that he was sitting there all this time? I cannot believe that they went to a golf course. They knew he was going to hours in advance, and nobody went out there and did any pre-op surveillance. It's such an act of misfeasance, borderline malfeasance, that people should have been fired over it. It's disgraceful. We need a director in there to clean this thing up, man. This is way past the point of like, oh, my bad, someone's gonna die if we don't get this done soon.
Yes, they will.
It's
It's already been close. Trump's almost died. Literally, an act of God saved him.
They're calcified in their thinking. They're never going to change anything because they can't. They need fresh blood in there. It is a train wreck over there. All right, folks, thanks again for tuning in. 151,000, another kick-ass live stream. Thanks for making us the number one live stream in the United States yesterday. We appreciate it. And Triton just came out with their podcast rankers. Thank you again, everyone. I love you guys so much. Number 3 podcast in the U.S. last month. That's really awesome. I really appreciate it, guys. Who? Oh my gosh, shame on me. I put it out on my Twitter this morning. Huge congratulations. PodTrack has their top 20 new podcasts of the year. Who is number 11? Yes, Avita Duffy.
Wow.
You can check her out on our Bongino Report Rumble channel.
Avita Duffy. I don't know if that's just political or if that's all around, but that's pretty good though, regardless.
We got bigger plans coming in the future. Don't miss it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please download the Rumble app. It's free. It's free. Or check us out every day at rumble.com/Bongino. 11 a.m. Watch video on demand anytime. time, please give us a follow on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That means a lot to us too. We appreciate it. See you here on the radio show in a few minutes, and back here tomorrow.
You just